This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Yeah, today topic is a file system. File system. Okay. We have three types of the file systems. One is traditional file system, that is a FS. We can call it as a file system. And DFS, distributed file system. And our file system, HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system. EFS, DFS, HDFS. So already currently we are using for a Hadoop side, we are using the HDFS. Why not we are not using the FS and DFS? We have some drawbacks, right? So that's why we are using the HDFS file system, Hadoop distributed file system. What is the drawbacks in the traditional file system? Traditional file system in the sense this is the Windows systems. You are using the Oracle and any other databases. Is the backend is the file system, right? Yes sir. You are installing one Oracle database. So is the backend, what is the file system? That is a traditional file system. We have some drawbacks in the traditional file system. What is the drawbacks we have? Do you know what is the Windows file systems? Yeah, Windows file system. Yeah, is the NTFS, FAT, FAT. These are all the Windows file system. We have the for Linux file system also we have some. This is the NTFS and FAT is the Windows file system. For the Linux file systems, yeah, what is the Linux file systems? Is the ext3 and latest is the ext4. ext4 is the all the Linux file systems. What is the drawbacks in the traditional file system? Currently we are using the HDFS file system. HDFS already I told you. HDFS is the heart of the Hadoop. Why means all the data we are going to store under HDFS only, not the traditional file system, not the traditional file system. What is the drawbacks we have in the traditional file system? What is the drawbacks? Yeah, just we will discuss the drawbacks. Then how we are going to overcoming the drawback in the HDFS we will discuss. Okay. Yeah, drawback of traditional file system means FS. Drawback of the FS. What is the drawbacks we have? What is the drawbacks? So first drawback is the storing the large amount of the data. Storing the large amount of the data. First of all, we have the one personal file system there. Personal system is there. You want to your hard disk memory is the 100 GB, but I want to store the 200 GB. I want to store the 200 GB of the memory. So how you are going to? We need to increase our hard disk. We need to increase the means we need to migrate. For suppose you have the only one disk is there, or that is having the only 100 GB of the memory. You want to store the 200 GB of the memory. You need to replace the hardware. Yes or no? Sometimes the software is also not supported to store the 200 GB of the memory. That is some of the drawbacks in the traditional file system. Okay, so means you are storing 200 GB. Already you have the 100 GB of the memory. Already some data you have saved in the 100 GB. Okay, so now you want to store the 200 GB of the memory. Means what we need to do, we need to migrate the data. Nothing but we need to copy the data from one hard disk to another hard disk. That is the processing, right? Yes or no? You are doing some processing. So that is also very costly. Every time we need to copy. For suppose this time 200 GB is required. In the next time I require the 300 GB. We need to migrate the data. We need to move the data from one hard disk to another hard disk. Every time we are facing some challenging things. Means the data is increasing. Obviously, the business is running means the data is increasing day by day. So how we are going to increase? what is the memory you want to maintain in the back end. So that is a very difficult, right? So that is the drawback of the traditional file system. If I can add that, if I can add that, automatically it can move. That is a very better thing, right? So we have that approach in the HDFS. How it is going to auto replication will happen means we will discuss. We will discuss that. But my intention is first we will discuss the what is the drawbacks in the traditional file system. What is the drawbacks? First drawback is the storing the large amount of the data. These are one of the drawback. So if you want to overcome that, we need to increase the hard disk. We need to change the hardware software. Yes or no? But if you can change the hardware means it should support that all the hardware devices also. You are increasing your hard disk means it should support that. Otherwise it will not work. Yes or no? So this is the one of the drawback in the traditional file system. And next, what is the drawback in the traditional file system? Next is the processing. Processing the large amount of data. Just you can assume that you have the one notepad is there. Okay, it's having the just you can assume 1 MB file. 1 MB file. The notepad consists of the 1 MB data. Just you can try to open it in your Windows system. It will take the minutes of the time. Just you can try it. If you have the any notepad, it consists of the 1 MB of the data. 1 MB of the, not the KB, 1 MB of the data. Just you can try to open it. Just you can try to update it. Just you can try to edit it. So it will take some time. It will take some time. Sometimes the system is also crashed. That is also processing, right? You are doing something. That is also processing. You are writing, you are updating, you are editing, you are saving, you are deleting. These are all the operations only. That is also one of the operations. That is also one of the processing, right? So that will take some time to process the data. If you have the large amount of the data, I'm talking about the large amount of the data. That's why Hadoop has introduced it, right? Yes or no? So this is the processing the large amount of the data, one of the drawback in the traditional file system. First is the storing the large amount of the data and processing the large amount of the data. These two is the major drawbacks in the traditional file system. And what else? What is the drawbacks we are going to face in the traditional file system? Any other drawbacks? Yes, we have the data loss. We can lose the data also. How we are going to? How many ways you can lose the data? Means one of the ways power failure. First of all, you are doing something. Okay, you are doing something, you are copying something. In the middle of that, the power has gone. What will happen? What will happen? So you are going to lose the total data, right? First of all, you are copying from one directory to another directory. Okay, is the middle of that. It's having the just you can imagine 1 GB of the data. 500 MB of the data has copied. Okay, in the traditional file system. In the suddenly the power has gone. What will happen? We are going to lose the data. Yes or no? We are going to. It's not going to save the only 500 MB of the data. Yes or no? So that is the one of the drawback. Means power failure. Power failure is a one of the data loss. And any other way to lose the data? Network failure. Network failure. What is the network failure? For example, you are sending some information to one location to another. How you are going to send? For example, just you can check is Gmail. It is not possible to share the data, right? Yes or no? If the network has failed, so you cannot able to access that Gmail also. So this is also one of the drawback in the traditional file system. And next is the hardware and software. Software failure. For suppose you are copied some data in your local system, in C drive, D drive, any other drives. Okay, just you can assume. And then suddenly the hardware has failed. You can able to get the data because of you have the only one copy of the data you are stored. So the hardware has failed. Total hardware, the hard disk has failed. Just you can assume the software has failed. So how you are going to get the data? This is also one of the drawback in the traditional file system. These many ways we are going to lose the data in traditional file system. So data is playing the major key role in the business. Yes or no? Are you agree with this? Because if you don't have the data, so the business will not run, because of based on the data only the business will depends. Based on the data only they are going to analysis on the business and they are going to improve their businesses. If you can lose the data, that is very difficult to run the business. So that's why all the company, you can take any company, they are giving the first priority to protect their data. Yes or no? So whatever you can do, but you should protect, finally you should protect your data. Yes, all these drawbacks we are overcoming with the HDFS or our Hadoop environment. How we are going to protect our data going forward, we will discuss that. But this is the traditional file system. Our systems, it means presently you are using the Windows system, right? Windows system, Mac system, any other systems. These are all the drawbacks. To overcoming these drawbacks in the Hadoop environment. Once you create the Hadoop cluster, so we are overcoming all these drawbacks in the Hadoop environment. How we are going to overcome it, we will discuss that. Okay. And come to any other way to drawbacks, any other drawbacks in the traditional file system? Yeah, this is also major drawback, metadata backup, not the metadata creations. Yeah, what is the metadata? Anyone knows the metadata? Metadata. Metadata is a data about data. Data about what is the data about the data? Just you can assume that you have the one table is there. Just you can assume employee table is there. Okay, this is the employee table. Employee table having the some columns. Employee ID, okay, employee name, and employee salary. Just you can assume that. This is all the columns, and it's having the some data. ID is the 100, and name is a Sai, and salary is a 10K. Okay, and 102 Ras something is there. So this is what is the data? This is the schema. This is the schema, right? Here is the schema. We can call it as a schema. This is the metadata. What is the columns? What is the columns we have? That is we can call it as a metadata. Means this is explaining about the actual data. Yes or no? What is that? First of all, if you can pass this only 100 Sai 10K, what we can assume? If we have the column information, then we can able to understand, yes, this is the 10K is the salary, and Sai Raj is the name, and the 102 is the employee ID. Means this is the metadata. We can call it as a metadata. Means this is the data about the data. And what is this? This is the actual data. What is the rows is there? We can call it as an actual data. This is the table information. This is the table. So metadata creation, if you want to create the metadata manually, first suppose I have the data is there, I have the some actual data is there, I want to create the metadata, I want to create the metadata manually. So this is very difficult. First suppose here is the only 10 to 15 columns is there, 10 to 15 columns. If you want to create that, that is not a problem. First suppose if you have the 1000 columns is there, if you want to create the metadata, so this is very difficult, right? For suppose any one column has missed, the data is mismatching, the actual data is mismatching. If you want to create the any metadata in the traditional file system, you should do in the manually. But come to the Hadoop side, auto metadata concept is there to overcoming this drawback as well. Okay, we have the 4 drawbacks is there. That is storing the large amount of the data, processing the large amount of the data loss, and metadata backup. So these 4 drawbacks is there. To overcoming these 4 drawbacks with the Hadoop environment, this is the HDFS environment. How we are going to overcoming this means going forward we will discuss. Okay, any questions, any doubts? This is the FS. This is the FS, and next is the DFS. DFS. What is the DFS? This is the same as the traditional file system only, but this is the multi-system concept. Okay, it is a multi-system concept. This is a multi-system. What is the multi-system concept? Suppose here is I am working as a single system, single node. We can call it as a single node, single computer. Yes or no? So for suppose you can connect it. For suppose you have the five systems is there, 5 laptops. Just you can assume that 5 laptops. How you are going to connect the 5 laptops? Through the network, right? Yes or no? If you want to connect all these laptops into a single network, that is we can call it as a cluster actually. What is a cluster here? Cluster, group of missions in a network. We can call it as cluster. The same as the DFS is nothing but the cluster only. This is a multi-system concept. Here also we are using the same traditional file system only, not the Hadoop environment. Traditional file system only. What are the drawbacks is there? Same drawbacks will applicable for the DFS also. Same drawbacks applicable for the same DFS. This is only the thing is this is the multi-system concept. That's it. There is no change. So come to the our HDA, our system, our Hadoop distributed file system. We are overcoming all these drawbacks with the HDFS only. How we are going to overcoming, we will discuss later. Okay, we will discuss later. And come to the next topic is history of the Hadoop. Yeah, in the 1998, Google has introduced to work on the search engine purpose. Hadoop has introduced, means Hadoop, when Hadoop has introduced in the 1998, Google has introduced to implement the search engine purpose. If I want to search some data, so we have some data is there. I want to search particular record. So how Google has introduced in the search engine purpose, only for the search engines. In the 1998 has introduced. Okay. After that in the 2006, after that 2006, Yahoo has acquired this Hadoop environment, means Hadoop software. Yahoo has acquired this. Okay, and after that in the 2007, Apache is the one of the company. Apache has acquired this and make it as an open source. Apache has acquired and make it as an open source in the 2007. After that, yes, in that situation they are introduced only the HDFS and MapReduce only. We don't have any Hadoop ecosystems. At that time we have the HDFS and MapReduce only. What is the use of the HDFS? To storing purpose. What is the use of the MapReduce? To processing the data. That's it. We don't have any ecosystem. In the 2008, all the ecosystems has introduced, like the Hive, HBase, Impala. These are all the ecosystems has introduced by the Apache only. Apache has introduced that. Okay, and after that 2014 and 2015, you can take it in 2015, Spark has introduced by the Apache. Spark has introduced. This is the latest ecosystem for the Hadoop environment. So this is the history of the Hadoop, but only in the from the 2018 to 2014 onwards, only we have used the Hadoop ecosystems like the Hive, Impala, HBase, Cassandra, MongoDB. So after that, for the processing, for the processing means from up to 2014 onwards. From 2014 onwards, we are using the Spark only. So you are using the Hive Impala means backend MapReduce program is running for the all the Hadoop ecosystems, but it will take some time to process the data. Already I told you. For suppose you are working on the you want to process some data, so it is just you can assume that it's taking as an 100 minutes of the time. Same code if you want to process in the Spark level, it will take the 1 minute of the time, 100 times faster than the MapReduce program, and the 10 times faster than the MapReduce program in the disk level. In the RAM level, 100 times faster than. Okay, so that's why currently we are using the Spark. It is introduced in the 2015. Okay, and come to the we are using here, we are using the Hadoop environment, right? So some of the clusters we are going to use. What is the distribution? Some of the distributions we can use in the Hadoop environment. What is the distributions we have? Yeah, distributions of Hadoop. What is the distributions? Yes, Cloudera is one of the distribution. Hortonworks, IBM Big Insights, and Pivotal HD. These are all the distributions, but 90% of the industry is using the Cloudera and the Hortonworks only. 90% of the industry. Some, and also we have the MapR is also one of the distribution. MapR. Okay. 90% of the industry using the Cloudera and the Hortonworks only. As part of our course, we are using the Cloudera only. I will provide this setup. Okay, I will provide the software and how to install this. So everything I will provide. Okay, and this is the distribute. What is the distributions here? Distributions is nothing but the cluster, nothing but the cluster. They are grouping all the missions in a network. They are creating as a single system. That is we can call it as a distribution. But different company they have developed. We have the Hortonworks is one of the company, Cloudera is one of the company, IBM is one of the company. So they are integrating all the ecosystems, all the Hadoop ecosystems into a single system. So that is the distributions. And also we have the some of the cloud computing is there. Nowadays, some of the companies is using the cloud computing. Cloud computing providers. What is the cloud computing providers? Amazon, EMR, and Rackspace, Google Cloud, and Windows Azure. So these are all the cloud computers. These are all the cloud computing. So nowadays, some of the companies is also using these providers, these services. Okay, so you can use any one of this. As part of our course, I'm going to cover this Cloudera. I'm going to use it. There is no change. Only thing is, this is the different distributions is there. Different distributions is there. So same code will work in all the environment, not only this. You can choose the cloud also. Same code will work. Only you should know how to connect to the cloud system. After that, you need to run the same code only. Okay. So this is the distributions of the Hadoop. Any questions, any doubts up to here? Please raise your hand. Any other questions? No, right? Okay. And come to the Hadoop framework. Hadoop framework. Yeah, here is Hadoop framework means we have the Hadoop 1.x version and Hadoop 2.x version. Hadoop 1.x version and Hadoop 2.x version. Hadoop 1.x version we can call it as a Hadoop 2.x version we can call it as a yarn also. We have the Hadoop 1.x version, Hadoop 2.x version. So Hadoop 1.x version has introduced in the 2010. It is introduced in the 2010. In the 2015, Yarn has introduced. In the 2015, this is nothing but the Yarn. This is introduced in the 2013. Sorry, 2013 has introduced. What is this? The Hadoop 1.x version. What is the Hadoop 1.x? HDFS and the MapReduce. Inbuilt of the HDFS and the MapReduce. Come to the Hadoop 2.x version. Yes, same HDFS, MapReduce, and Yarn. Already we discussed the what is the Yarn. We have the latest framework, that is the Yarn only. Yet another resource negotiator. Yet another resource negotiator. So first we will going to discuss the Hadoop 1.x version. After that, what is the drawbacks is there? So how we are going to overcoming this drawback in the Hadoop 2.x version, we will discuss. Okay. Come to the Hadoop 1.x version frame. Okay. So before that, before discussing the framework, we should know the 5 components. We have the 5 components and the 5 nodes. We should know the 5 nodes information. What is the nodes we have? First is the name node. Second node is data node. Third node is secondary name node. And fourth is job tracker. And fifth is the task tracker. We have the 5 nodes is there. One is the data node, secondary name node, job tracker, task tracker, and the name node. These 5 nodes. First, before discussing the framework, Hadoop 1.x version framework, first we should know about these nodes. What is the name node responsibility? What is the name node responsibility? Means storing the metadata information. What is the name node responsibility? Storing the metadata information. Storing the metadata information. So how it is going to store means we will discuss. Just I am giving the single line of the statement. Okay. And come to the what is the data node responsibility? Storing the actual data information. Storing the actual data information. And come to the secondary name node. What is the secondary name node responsibility? To store the backup of name node. Backup of name node, but not for processing. But not for processing. Just you can remind this, but not for processing. Not for processing. What is the processing? Already, what is the backup of the name node? What is the backup of the name node? Storing the metadata information. What is the metadata? Metadata is the data about the data. This is the metadata, right? All the metadata, only the schema information we are going to store under name node only. And the actual data, where the actual data we are storing? Data node. We have some dedicated nodes is there to store the data in the Hadoop environment, in HDFS environment. So come to the secondary name node. To store the backup of the name node, but not for the processing. Okay. What is the processing? We will discuss. Okay. Just I'm trying to give the single line of the statement. Okay. After that, we will discuss in depth. Okay. And job tracker. What is the job tracker responsibility? Job tracker responsibility is nothing but the manager is going to split the job into tasks and assign the task to the task tracker. Assign the task to the task tracker. What is the task tracker responsibility? to execute the task. To execute the task, yeah, assigned by the job tracker. Is nothing but the worker. Is nothing but the worker. Is a job tracker is nothing but the manager. In the industry also, you can take any project or anything. So manager is there and the employees is there. What is the manager responsibility? He is going to split total task into the total project into the small pieces, small task assigned to the employees. Same here also. Job tracker is nothing but the manager. Task tracker is nothing but the worker. They are splitting total job into the task assigned to the task tracker. The task tracker is to executing the task track or task assigned by the job tracker. This is a single line of the statement. This is a single line of the statement. In whenever we are submitting the job, but suppose I want to submit the job, just you can assume the select star from table. Just you can assume that in the terminal, just I am running. I want to get the data from the HDFS environment. I am giving one request. That is a client request. What is the request? Select star from table. What will happen? What will happen? Once it, for suppose I want to insert the data into the HDFS environment, in Hadoop environment. What will happen? Which component is helping to process that? That is also one of the processing, right? Yes or no? You are getting the data from the source. You are inserting the data into the Hadoop environment. That is also one of the processing. Yes or no? So at that time, which component is helping? So how internally is running our job? So we will discuss. Okay. These are all the major nodes. These are all the major nodes. Yes, what is this means? This is the one of nothing but the distribution. In the real time also, we are not going to work on a single system. We are going to work as in a cluster. This is nothing but the cluster only. This is what is the distributions is there. This is nothing but the cluster. What is the cluster? Group of missions in a network. We can call it as a cluster. We are going to use the more than one system as a more than one laptop. Just you can assume that more than one laptop, more than one server, more than one desktop. We are going to create a single cluster. Here also we are in minimum here. See here, minimum is a 5 nodes, different nodes, right? Means just you can assume that I have the 5 node cluster. One node is the one laptop is the name node. I'm creating as a dedicated node as a name node. One laptop, one desktop. You can assume that you have the 5 desktops in there. You are connected through the network and you are creating as a single system. That is the cluster. That is the distribution. We can call it as a distribution. Okay. Here also we have the 5 nodes is the important nodes. So they are going to dedicated each node as an a one daemons. We can call it as an we can call it as a daemons. Name node, data node, secondary name node, job tracker, and the task tracker. These are all the daemons. Different node we can assume, we can assign to the different node. One node is a name node. One node is the node is what is the node? Node is nothing but the computer. Node is nothing but the laptop. Node is nothing but the desktop. Node is nothing but the server. Okay. Here is the one node is the name node. One node is the data node. Secondary name node, job tracker, and the task tracker. I created the one distribution that is a 5 node cluster. That is a 5 node cluster. Just see here. I'm going to take one example. Try to understand. This is very, very important. You can run any job. You should follow this framework only. Framework will not change. Not only Hadoop side. You can take the .NET. You can take the Java. You can take the Oracle. You can take the any Informatica tool. Framework will not change. Whatever you are inserting, whatever you are getting the data from the, we should follow the framework only. Okay. Come to here. First, suppose the client is trying to insert some data into the Hadoop environment. Okay, just you can assume that this is the client. This is the client. I want to submit the job. I want to submit the job into the Hadoop environment. The first request, submitting the job. The first request will send to the one of the node, name node. This is the name node. The first request will send to the name node only. What is the name node responsibility? What is the name node responsibility in the single statement? Storing the metadata information. Yes, here is the client wants to insert some data. I want to write some data into the Hadoop environment. First, we'll send to the name node the metadata. What is the metadata is there? We are going to store under name node only. The name node responsibility. So you are trying to insert one table. Just you can assume that my table name is the. Just you can assume that this is my table. Already example, same example. Employee table is there. I want to insert the 2 records into the Hadoop environment. What will happen? This metadata is going to store under name node only. This is the responsibility of the name node. First is receiving the request from the client and storing the metadata into the name node. Yes, after that, who will comes into the picture? Yes, metadata is stored. Then job tracker will comes into the picture. Already I told you what is the job tracker responsibility. Job tracker will comes into the picture. See, what is the single line of the statement? What is the single line of the statement? What I have given. What is the job tracker will comes into splitting the jobs, splitting the total jobs into the task assigned to the task tracker. Yes, what is the job tracker? Yes, here is the client is trying to insert some data. Yes, is giving the metadata is inserted into the name node. After that, job tracker will comes into the picture. Is going to split total job into the tasks. Because of job tracker act as a manager, he is going to split total job into the task assigned to the task tracker. Yes, after that, job tracker will comes into the picture. He is going to assign the data. Means where the nodes is available, where the task tracker is available. These are all the data nodes. Just you can assume that here is the I have the 3 data nodes. Just you can assume that. Just you can assume these are all the data nodes. Data node 1, data node 2, data node 3. These are all the data nodes. What is the data node responsibility? See here, storing the actual data to storing the actual data. Yes, here is the actual data is there. Okay, he is going to store the data, but who is going to assign this total job tracker? Means the job tracker is splitting the total job into the task assigned to the task tracker. Where the task tracker, there is no task tracker, right? Where the actual data is there, the task tracker will launch it. Where the actual data is there, my actual data is available in the data node. So that's why task tracker will comes into the picture. Then because of the job tracker is assigning some task to the task tracker. Yes, the task tracker will comes into the picture. Task tracker will comes into the picture, is going to execute the task assigned by the job tracker. Job tracker is the manager. Task tracker is nothing but the worker only. Everywhere where the actual data is there, this is also task tracker 2. This is task tracker 3. Just you can assume task tracker 3. Okay, where the actual data is there, then is going to execute this. Means is going to insert the data. For suppose is going to get the data from the data nodes. Who is going to help? Means the task tracker is going to execute the task assigned by the job tracker. So how we are going to identify the data is available in the same node? How I'm going to identify? Yes, here is the job tracker responsibility to split total jobs into the task, assign the task to the task tracker. Where the task tracker is executed, where the actual data is there, is going to execute the task by the task tracker. Yes, sir, that is clear. But how can the job tracker will know? Yes, my data, I want to get that. Here is the all the data is there. Just assume that here is the not only the employee table, we have the hundreds of the tables information is there. hundreds of the tables. Actual data is available in the data node. How can job tracker will know this information? Yes, my employee table is available in the one data node, in the data node 1 only, in the data node 2, in the data node 3. Here is I am taking as the 3 data nodes. In the real time, we may work as the 250 nodes, 300 nodes, 600 nodes, 50 nodes as a single cluster. Based on your project, the admin people has configured, admin people is going to use the number of nodes. See, here is the how many nodes is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One node is the name node, job tracker, task tracker, means data node. One data node, two data node. How many nodes is there? 5 nodes. Here is I'm taking as the 5 nodes. In the real time, we may have the 50 nodes also, 200 nodes also. Okay, presently I am working on the 254 nodes as a single cluster. Based on our project, the admin people and the manager will configure they are going to use that many nodes. We have the different environments. Dev environment is there, UAT environment is there, stage environment is there, and the production environment is there. So different. For the dev environment, we may use the only 5 nodes, 6 nodes, 16 nodes. That is also based on your project, based on your what is the capacity. We are going velocity. We are going to use that many nodes. Come to here as part of our course. I'm using the single node system. Means all this name node, job tracker, task tracker, all this inbuilt in the single node only. Okay. In the real time, it should be the multi-node system only. Okay. Yeah. How to know this? Actual data is available in the particular data node. Means already I told you what is the name node responsibility. To store the metadata information. Yes or no? To store the metadata information. Where is my secondary name node? Yeah, secondary. I am going to give the secondary name node also. I am going to draw the secondary name. This is the secondary name. What is the responsibility of the secondary name node? Yes, secondary name node. SNN, secondary name node. What is the responsibility of the secondary name node? To store the backup of the name node. Try to understand, please. What is the secondary name node? Where is my single line? Single statement. What's up? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is nice. Yeah. What is the secondary name node? Responsibility to store the backup of the name node. Yes. What will happen to storing? What is the metadata is there? What we are going to store in the name node? Metadata we are storing, right? Automatically we are storing the same backup image in the secondary name node. And I added one more point, but not for the processing. What is the processing here? Means what is the processing? Means not only storing the metadata information. This will provide where the actual address of the actual data information is also provided to the job tracker. So that is the processing. We can call it as a processing. But if any case, yes, here is already we are storing the metadata. We are backup in the secondary name node. All the metadata we are backup in the secondary node, but not for processing. Means what is the processing? All the metadata info, address of the actual data. What is the address of the actual data? For suppose this is one of the node. What is the IP address of this node? We have some IP addresses, right? That information is also available in the name node. And also what is the replication? What is the size of the actual data? Everything is available in the name node. So that information will internally is provided to the job tracker. That's why the job tracker will know where the actual data is available in the data node. So that's why in that place, the task tracker comes into the picture, is going to execute the task and given back to the job tracker and send back to the name node. The name node will provide to the client. Clear? Any questions, any doubts? So this is the how many nodes of the cluster? See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minimum is this is the 5 node cluster. We can assume as this is the 5 node cluster. First of all, I'm going to take the one more node also. Just you can assume that one more node. Sorry, one more data node. Just you can assume that this is the data node 4. Data node 4. Here also the task tracker will comes into the picture. Task tracker 4 is running, is going to store. Means this is the how many nodes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 node cluster. We can call it as a 7 node cluster also. This is the 7 node cluster. Seven node cluster. Okay. So what will happen? First, I'm going to explain one more time also. Whenever the client wants to get the data or write the data into the Hadoop environment, the first request will send to, whenever you are submitting the job in the cluster, what will happen? The first request will send to the name node. The name node, in the name node, metadata is updated. Storing the metadata in the name node. After the job tracker will comes into the picture, is going to split total job into the task, assign the task to the task tracker. Where it is assigned means where the data node is there, where the actual data is there, the task tracker is going to launch and is going to execute the task. And once the task has completed, then send the result to the job tracker. And after that, the job tracker will send to the name node. The name node will send to the giving the result in the output screen. And the secondary name node is the backup of the name node, but not for the processing. What is the processing here? The name node not only store the metadata information, is going to maintain the address of the actual data and the replication factor and size of the actual data information. Everything is available in the name node. That information is provided to the job tracker. Internally, the job tracker is receiving all the information from the name node only. All the information will available in the name node. So this is the end-to-end Hadoop 1.x version framework. Any questions, any doubts up to here? Please raise your hand.
Can I ask a question, please?
Please go ahead.
So you're saying all the data nodes are connected to name node.
Yes.
And everything is connected to job tracker. So basically all the nodes are name nodes only.
No, not all the nodes are the name node. This is the data node. Here is this is the means how we are connecting these all the things through the network. Yes or no? This is the cluster. Means internally is all connecting to the network. Yes or no? Are you agree with this? These are
Yes.
all connecting to the network. But I am not writing that. It's clumsy. So that's why. But this is the cluster. Already I told you, this is the cluster, right? What is the cluster? Cluster is a group of machines we are connecting through the network. That is a cluster.
Okay.
But you have the 7 nodes is there. One node I am dedicated to the name node. One node is I am dedicated to the secondary name node. This is total taken care by the admin people only whenever they are creating the cluster. As a developer, we don't bother about this.
Okay.
Okay.
So each cluster has 7 nodes.
Yes, correct.
Okay. It can
This is
only
the-
have
this is
7
the-
nodes.
Yeah.
It can only have 7 nodes, and which are 7 data nodes, or
No. I'm not giving the 7 data nodes. Only 4 data nodes, 1 name node, 1 secondary name node, 1 job track.
Okay. So what gets saved under secondary name node?
What is the yes? We will discuss. Actually, why we are maintaining the secondary name node? Only we are maintaining the backup of the name node. For suppose in any case, name node has down. Yes, that is also possible, right? Finally, we should not lose the data. That is the difference between the traditional. Already, what is the drawback in the traditional file system? We are losing the data. Yes or no?
Yes.
See, we are losing the data. Some here is the power fail. Any data node, any hardware failure is failed. So we are going to lose the data in the traditional file system. Come to the Hadoop environment. If the any node is down, we are not going to lose the data.
So
We should
secondary name node is a backup of all the data, like the entire name node.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Whenever we are whenever the metadata is updated in the fraction of second, the image, what is the image is there, we are going to maintain under the secondary name. For suppose
But
in any case.
But where does the secondary name node get saved? It gets saved under the same cluster as a name node, right?
Yes, but this is the different node, right? For suppose how we are going to creating this cluster. For suppose name node one node, just you can assume that one node is from the India, one node is from the UK, one node is from the US, one node is from the different environment, Japan. You can take it. Means how they are going to creating these clusters. Different environment, not the same environments. They are going to maintain the servers in the different locations, and they are selecting one node from the UK, one node from the India, one node is from the India to the different locations they are going to create. For suppose in this case, any earthquake has come from India, the name node is from India. Just you can assume that in the India in Hyderabad, just this node has crashed. Means some any other cases, but we have option to get the data from the, this is from the UK, just you can assume that UK, we have an option to get the data from the secondary name node if the name node has down. Yes or no?
Okay.
So that's why we are creating the different environments. We are getting the nodes from the different this is totally taken care by the admin people only. Finally, if any earthquakes has come, if any natural disasters will happen, we are not going to lose the data. We should protect. That is our ultimate goal. That's why we are using the big data. In the traditional file system, we have, these are all the drawbacks. Something is that we are losing the data. We are storing the data in the, so for suppose one data is here, is why we are maintaining these many data nodes. Yes, this is the reason is there. We will discuss one by one. First, we will discuss the what is the drawbacks in this. Yes, here also we have some drawbacks is there. What is the drawbacks? What is the futures is there? We will discuss one by one. Okay. Total is the automatically will running. We are not going to do any manual operations. Here is the data is storing, the metadata is storing the name node, right? I'm going to store them manually. No, framework will take care of this. Just only thing is, as a client, just I'm submitting the job. Select star from table, insert into table some records. That's it. I'm giving one statement. Automatically, framework will come into the picture. Is going to execute all these components. All these components comes into the picture. Is going to execute their responsibilities. Clear?
So I have a doubt.
Yes, please.
So you said that the task tracker are like we assigning the task and dividing as a task tracker, right?
Correct.
But so that it won't be like 7-node cluster. It can be any node cluster, right? If
Yeah,
like based on the input data, we can make like tasks. We can divide task into n number of tasks.
Correct.
So based on that, we can change it to 7-node, 8-node, or 6-node, or 5-node.
Yes.
Right?
In the real time, we may have the 254 nodes.
Okay. Yeah. Because previously you said everything will be 7 nodes, so I got confused.
Oh no. Sorry. No, not the 7 node. It may be the 256 node, 56 node, 16 node, 13 node, 5 node, and also 1 node also. Here is, as part of our course, we are using the only single node. All these nodes, name node, secondary name node, job tracker, task tracker, that all in the single node only. In the single node, all these demands is run.
Okay.
First, suppose you are using the 3 node cluster. Just you can assume that. Here is the 7. Yeah, how many nodes? 7 nodes. Just you can. This is the 7 node, right? First, suppose I have the 3 node. How we are going to dedicate it? Means one node is the name node. Okay, one node is the job tracker, and the remaining all the nodes they are going to make it as a data node. That's it.
Okay.
First, suppose I have only one node is there. All these demands, name node, secondary name, job tracker, task, everything is the single node only. Based on your cluster size, how you are going to decide this? Based on your project size, based on your volume of your project. The admin peoples and managers, architect, not the managers, architect will take the decision how many nodes is feasible to develop this project. They are going to take the decision. Okay.
So as the number of nodes increases, it will be easy for a project.
Yes, I'm going to. First, suppose here is the in the traditional file system. These are good questions, excellent questions. You are asking excellent questions. I'm appreciating you. And first, suppose here is the 7 node is there. First, suppose I want to add one more node. Means what will happen? So we need to migrate some data to the other node also, right? Yes or no? As a manual, as a traditional file system. First, suppose you have in the traditional file system, you have the one hard disk is there. That is having the 1 TB. You have added one more hard disk. One more hard disk. What will happen? If you want to copy the data from one hard disk to another hard disk, you have the 2 hard disks. means you need to copy. Yes or no? In the traditional system. Are you agree with this?
Yeah.
Yes. Come to the Hadoop side. No need to copy. Automatically framework will take care. How it is? We will discuss one by one. We will discuss that. So that's
Okay.
why. Yeah. That's why we no need to do any manual operations. Come to that is the difference. That is the difference between the traditional file system and the Hadoop file systems.
Okay.
Okay, they're good questions. So tomorrow we will discuss. Already time is up. So tomorrow we will discuss. In this we have the some drawbacks. What is the futures is there? What is the drawbacks and how we are going to overcoming this drawback? We will discuss one by. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.